What's going on, guys? It's your boy Turner, or as everyone knows me now.
I'm Jake Weddle, but I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them.
Bringing you guys a new video. It's about the whole MrBeast situation that I've gotten wrapped up in.
I don't know. Everybody loves Jimmy. Behind closed doors, he is not super great. They always cut me out of the videos. Editors have told me it's because you have too much of a personality.
Sometimes, like, I would be on camera, give a good joke, but it might have been too good. So then it's like, all right, cut that.
I used to blaze Jimmy publicly for things, but then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the work that you did? Well, I wanted a career.
The biggest clout chase move I've ever made was exaggerating all the good things that MrBeast did for me. The person that everyone knows as a saint, you know as someone who is the complete opposite. MrBeast and Jimmy Donaldson are two different people.
Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. I don't like Jimmy. I hate him.
I really don't like everybody in the team, and the only person I'm talking about is MrBeast himself.
What would have happened if people listened to Turner back then? Would things have played out differently? Oh my gosh. So DogPack's second video on the Exposing MrBeast documentary series came out a few days ago. And oh my goodness, was the Ava Kris Tyson situation literally the tip of the iceberg. Like, honestly, that was already horrible in itself, and just when we thought this couldn't get any deeper, it did. Now I'm gonna do my best to provide all the context needed for this video without rambling on too much. But if you guys haven't already, I do recommend you guys go watch DogPack's second video in the series titled I Worked for MrBeast, He is a Sociopath. Because what I am covering today goes hand in hand and pretty parallel with the information in that video. So just keep that in mind. But to revisit what was covered in that video, basically DogPack, which is a former MrBeast employee, covers the story of another former MrBeast employee known as Jake Weddle.
I'm Jake Weddle. If you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor.
He basically covers that MrBeast isn't the person that we all watch and seem to know.
I don't know. Everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is not super great, and that image is cultivated purposefully and intentionally, and it's branding, it's marketing, it's YouTube.
And that because of the nature of the content that he makes, he seems to be the best person.
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber, and I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. It was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy?
Basically, it's content being good insurance for him to be able to be shitty to, say, his employees. An example being that everybody's perception of MrBeast is that he's this genius, generous person that loves to give away things, be kind to others, help people in need, and help our planet out. And for the people within the content creation and YouTube spectrum, we see him as this genius that knows how to really put together a video, crack the algorithm, make super evergreen content that will be enjoyed in years to come, and it's like the master of storytelling on YouTube.
All you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that.
So with that said, if MrBeast does one shitty thing, or maybe two or three here and there, maybe treated somebody unfairly or whatever, I mean, he's helped thousands of people, right? He's given millions of dollars away, right? Why would anybody ever think that somebody like that could be a bad person? But in DogPack's documentary series, he covers a series of allegations, including illegal lotteries.
5 minutes, someone's getting $3 grand in their order. 2 minutes, newest order gets $2,000. Good luck, everybody.
Mistreatment of employees.
There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy, or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half.
Things like faking videos.
This island costs more than $1. The city is not abandoned. These buildings are CGI. But it's not your only way out. You can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a lurker. It's just a...
In inhumane conditions while producing the content for the MrBeast channel.
Dozens of people were injured and thousands of people were denied their basic human rights, all for a MrBeast YouTube video.
In the video about Jake Weddle, Jake even talks about how if you outshine MrBeast on camera and maybe say a joke that's too funny or you have too much of a personality, MrBeast will literally cut you out of the final cut.
He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous famous and leave and talk about me negatively. They always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me, it's because you have too much of a personality.
Because the spotlight should stay on Jimmy, right? I mean, it's his channel. Why would anyone let anybody else outshine them in their own videos and not like their friends or anything, right? It's just an employee at the end of the day. Like, that to me alone is mad fucking cringy and insanely ridiculous. Now, not making it in the final cut of a MrBeast video must be shitty because, like, you put in all this work, you try to be funny, whatever. I mean, that must suck, right? If you're an employee, you're doing your job, you're still getting your salary, you're still getting paid, you're still getting what you've been promised. And now maybe your boss might treat you like a piece of shit, but I've worked regular jobs and that's pretty fucking common, to be fair. But it coming from YouTube's golden boy and the biggest YouTuber of all time, who's apparently one of the nicest people ever and the most generous person we've ever seen, that does sound a little bit odd. But then the bomb was dropped and Jake Weddle goes to explain his experience in filming 100 days in solitary confinement video.
There was one video I was in, I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. People don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me and it didn't go well.
And how he almost went insane and was physically tortured.
They weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. The lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep. And I have insomnia problems now. They might have started there. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend, and I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is, and you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. People who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Writer! Do I look like I run? I don't run, let alone a marathon.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
There was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, You get up, I wanted the cash, and so I start running at 12. I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. When I got off the treadmill, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out.
And I feel really fucking bad for Jake because in the video, you can tell he has some sort of PTSD. Every time he talks about the video, tries to explain his experience, you start trembling and crying and just shut off. And you can tell that his head really does not want to revisit that time in that period in his life. So with that said, I do want to go ahead and say that I'm here to support Jake Weddle. I wish you the best in your career, the best in all your endeavors, and I hope that you only go up from here, man. And same goes for DogPack. You definitely have balls for what you're doing, man, but you're doing and standing for what you know is right to you. So definitely flowers given where they're due. Now with that context out of the way, let's get to who is Matt Turner. So Matt Turner, aka Turner, is best known for his appearance on Big Brother season 24. He was actually a fan favorite, and I want to go ahead and say congratulations for all your success. Now what people might not know is that a few years prior to this, he actually worked as an editor for MrBeast in 2018. Now I don't know how long this was. I think it was like a 6-month period. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know it was his dream job, and he ended up being let go because he wasn't in it for the long run. He had aspirations to do his own thing. At the time, he wanted to go take a backpacking trip in Asia.
It wasn't an easy decision. This was a dream job for so long. He basically just said, hey man, I know this is kind of random. Realize that you aren't long-term in this, because I was planning on either moving to Los Angeles, backpacking across Asia, which I'm gonna do, or go to college in the fall. I just said, we really just want people who are going to be in here for the long term. You have other aspirations, we can see that,
and we know that's what you should be focusing on.
So with that being said, MrBeast sat down with him and said, hey, we're gonna go ahead and let you go, but we're gonna give you a $10,000 bonus so you can go ahead and fund your trip and so you can do your own thing, and we're here to help you, and you could actually stay at your apartment that we're paying for you until you're ready to leave. And I believe MrBeast kept Turner on payroll for a few more months. I don't know if that added on to the $10,000 bonus, if that was part of it. I'm not too sure about those details.
MrBeast paid for my rent every month when I lived in North Carolina, and he said, all right, you can live here as long as you want. You can literally stay in this like pretty expensive apartment just until you feel comfortable leaving. Don't feel like you're in a rush. Stay as long as you want. Stay for months if you want to. It doesn't matter to us. They're still paying me right now. I'm still technically working. I'm not going to give like any numbers or anything. They said we're still going to pay you for a while, and that is basically funding my trip to backpack across Asia. He's saying you don't have to work for me, but I'll still pay you, and because of that, I hope that lets you live in LA, go to college, backpack Asia. Whatever you want to do after this, I want to set you up for that.
So everything seemed really nice, right? It seemed like unicorns and rainbows. But why would MrBeast do this? Was he actually grateful for the work that Turner had done, all the effort he had put into the MrBeast channel? Or could it have potentially been, I don't know, hush money? I don't know, allegedly? I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here. Now, all this happened in 2018, and when Turner got let go, he actually uploaded a video on YouTube, basically glazing MrBeast, saying how if you guys have an opportunity to take the job he had, that it's a great experience, it's good pay, this, that, and the third.
And the job is still an amazing job. If you have the opportunity to get this job that I had, totally take it. It's a lot of fun. It was basically just like a friendship, and going to work was a blast each and every day.
And everything seemed fine, right? All this happened in 2018. Turner departs the MrBeast team, gets a bonus, yada, yada, yada. And now this takes me to a year later and a deep dive into 2019, when Turner came out with an exposed video a year after working for MrBeast. Now in this video, Turner mentions a lot of things. He goes over the fact that Jimmy Donaldson and MrBeast in his experience are two completely different people.
All I've seen is people praise MrBeast, whether that be just people around me, people online. Everyone's like, this is the best guy on the planet. And while he is definitely a good guy, I'm not going to take anything away from his charitable efforts that he's done. It does get annoying when the person that everyone knows as a saint, you know as someone who is the complete opposite. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, just like actors, MrBeast and Jimmy Donaldson are two different people.
He also mentions that if you outshine him on camera, or if you make a joke that's a little bit too funny than whatever he's doing, MrBeast will remake you do the bit so you can be less funny, because the spotlight should stay on him.
Sometimes like I would be on camera, give a good joke, and then it was like either it might have been like, I mean, not to say I'm a funny guy, but it might have been too good. So then it's like, all right, cut that and give it to someone else.
Are you saying he cut you because it was too good?
Well, listen, dude, I don't want to say that, but sometimes if I was an off-screen personality who said something, the line would then get fed to someone else.
Oh, they would reshoot it? You say, or you have a hunch that they would take the comment that was funny and reshoot it?
I know it would happen. I watch it, be like, oh, give that line to this person.
We're only 2 points in the video, and I'm already seeing a huge correlation with Jake Weddle's story and Turner's story. Turner also goes over an experience he had as MrBeast editor, where Jimmy literally came in the editing bay and deleted his project file because he wasn't getting what he wanted.
This is basically just a compilation of all the videos MrBeast made thus far on his channel of him giving away money, adding up to him hitting $500,000. He's like, I want you to get every time I've ever given away money, add it up in the corner, and it should equal $500,000. I was like, this isn't gonna work because you clickbait. He'd be like, no, I swear, I did the math. I was like, all right, man, for sure. 8 hours passes by. I finish editing the video. And instead of the $500,000 he wants it to hit, it's maybe $410,000. And I'm like, Jimmy, clickbait is a thing you need to take into consideration. It came to a point where he's like, you know what? Just start over, man. Deletes the project file. Is like, start from scratch. Even if you delete the project file and make me restart and make me recut up all these clips, I can't make this equal $500,000.
And for those who don't know anything about video making or editing, there's hours and hours, especially on a project like MrBeast videos. There's hundreds of gigabytes and footage and all kinds of stuff to go through, that not only do you have to cut it up, but then you actually have to do the sound effects, the visual effects, the captioning, all kinds of stuff. So if a video is not coming out how you want it, you literally tell the editor what you want, how you want it, your vision, and what you want changed and fixed, instead of completely deleting the project file and making somebody watch the footage over and over again. That's literally mentally exhausting. So when Jimmy did that, Turner actually got up for 30 seconds, said, I'm gonna be right back, I'm gonna go get some water, and started venting to a coworker saying, dude, I'm gonna go insane, I don't know what the fuck to do. And Jimmy overheard that and called him a fucking to get back to work, or if not, he swears to God, whatever the fuck.
I am going insane. I don't know how you want me to do this. By day like 5, when he comes in and does basically the same thing and just scraps my whole video and asks me to do it again, I'm like, dude, let me take a walk, man. I specifically walked to a good friend who worked there at the Times office about 30 seconds away. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do right now. I can't edit this video for like another day. He wants me to come in on the weekend and do the same thing. I'm literally gonna go crazy. And that's when Jimmy hears me talking about how aggravated I'm getting with the situation, and apparently like talking shit behind his back, which I really wasn't. I just wanted like help. Comes in the room and he goes, you absolute fucking get back in that fucking room, or I swear to God, Turner. Jesus Christ, how many fucking times do I have to tell you how to edit this video? What are you, a fucking...
Then Turner goes to show some tweets he made from his private Twitter back in 2018. You can see they're dated, where he's obviously mentally stressing out and is just tired of the work environment there. So Turner had a conversation with his mom, which was his momager at the time, about this whole situation. She brushed it off as, it couldn't be. I think you might have misunderstood.
So then when I went to the manager and I was like, hey, this is totally inappropriate, and I was just screamed at and called a fucking, and I was told I better get back and edit or else. And then here, I mean, you probably just misheard him. I can't see that happening. It's very frustrating.
And how apparently his experience with her was also super toxic, and she would tell the editors things like, why don't you stop wasting time with this thing called rendering and just skip over that process? Which makes absolutely no sense. For those who don't know what rendering is, it's when you finish a video and you literally save the file into one file so you can upload it to YouTube. There's no way to skip this process.
She would say things like, you know, I think it'd be easier to edit if you just skipped the whole rendering process, which makes no sense.
The length of the process depends on how long the video is, how much footage, is it 4K, is it 1080p, whatever, how many visual effects there are. It's literally the final process for a video. And with MrBeast videos, I can say they would probably take 10 hours plus, 12 hours plus, maybe 24 hours, I don't even know. But anyways, because of mistreatment that they knew was going on, she would also do things like call the editors back into the business room so they can re-sign NDA so they won't say anything, and also call them replaceable, which can obviously kind of break a human, make them feel shitty. You're getting called replaceable. It's like, why the fuck do you have me here then? If you're gonna be calling me replaceable at that time, just fucking fire me, get somebody else.
She would use negative reinforcement as if that would drive the editors. She would very oftentimes call us into a room to re-sign NDAs for no reason and say, I want you all to know how replaceable you are, none of you matter. And she would do that to me a lot. It was like she wanted to have a personal talk with me, say something good, but she'd say like basically, you don't matter.
And with all this mistreatment going on, if MrBeast would get into some sort of a feud or some sort of fire, I guess you can call it, on social media, the mom would literally suggest, I don't know, I think you should back him up, you know, he could, you know, really use you, you work here, so, you know, it'd be a good look.
There were times where I would tweet something to back up MrBeast, where I wasn't forced to tweet these things, but I was very heavily told I should tweet these things by like his momager or whatever. Not told you must, but just where I'd be in a room editing and the mom would come in and be like, you know, you should probably back him up on this, you know?
And being treated like this, even though you're not being necessarily forced, but they keep telling you that you should do it and that it'd be a good look. After being treated like shit, I definitely would not want to do that. And with all this information, after Turner came out with this video, people did not believe him. There was tons of articles written. Even the New York Times covered this at one point in time. But because of the original video that he had posted a year prior to this, where he was glazing MrBeast for clout, and because he felt like that was the right thing to do, because, I mean, it was one of the biggest YouTubers. Everybody was talking about him, doing crazy ideas, innovating the content space, if you will. Even though me personally, I think he kind of ruined it. Nobody believed them. Everybody shit on Turner because of that mistake of glazing MrBeast in public.
I've made 2 videos about the situation before, and another was when I left working for MrBeast, and I talk about all the good experiences that I had there. This wasn't all bad. I got along with everyone else in the team except for MrBeast, and because of that, I had a lot of fun with them. But even in my first video where I just started working there, I did kind of hint to the fact that I wasn't getting along with MrBeast.
There are some really high ups and there are some really low downs. I love the people I work with. Yup, okay. And I love everything about the company, man. So, I like most of, or all of my coworkers, all of them.
I was talking about how I really don't like everybody in the team, and the only person I'm talking about is MrBeast himself. If you're wondering why I was clout chasing when I was saying only good things, that's simply because the last person to try doing what I'm doing right now, who's named Fly Does YouTube, also known as Nate, he got blacklisted from the editing community basically. He bravely went against MrBeast and Keemstar about a year ago when he was talking about a similar experience that he had to me, and the whole YouTube community turned against him for things that he said that were strictly true. Everyone at the MrBeast offices knew that this was an entirely true video. No lies were said, and because of that, it caused a panic in the offices.
Does that sound familiar? Because if I remember, oh wait, Jake Weddle just explained the same exact thing in DogPack's latest video.
I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you and they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to or I'll be sad.
Now, what made me want to cover this topic if I don't even make this type of content? I mean, sure, I must just want some clout, right? Wrong. I actually have known Turner for as long as I can remember. I think we met in like 2015 in the Call of Duty trick shotting and sniping scene. We've hung out in person. We've had good times, good memories. But most importantly, I was around when he was working for MrBeast. I was around the late night discords, the gaming sessions after work, the venting of how shitty the workplace was and how it's not what we would expect. And for that same reason, when I watched this video by DogPack, I was like, yo, this is fucking mind-boggling because it's literally Turner's story times 100,000. And in 2019, when Turner covered all this, nobody believed them. Do you guys think this is why things got this far? What would have happened if people listened to Turner back then? Would things have played out differently? Who knows? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and if you guys have any questions for Turner. Maybe I revisit this with part 2 and potentially interview Turner.